Hello, good people of the universe. My name's Andrew Rhodes. It's Saturday, August 19th, 2017. That means it's once again time for the absolutely, completely random podcast. That's right. It's going to be a doozy of a podcast this week. Hoo-hoo, boy. I'm going to be talking about Livestrider's top 6 live-action kids show video that actually got me to look up an older video of a show that I used to watch when I was a kid. Gundam character designer Yoshikazu Yasuhiko, I think I got that right, is open to remaking the first series. Let's see, what else have I got this week? Well, Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet trailer dropped, and I'm not exactly too thrilled with that one. Discotech grabbed a crap ton of licenses and a whole bunch of classics for new releases. Miyazaki's legendary movie Castle in the Sky is returning to theaters. Yeah, because we ain't getting enough of Miyazaki lately, have we? The new life-size Gundam is almost complete in Tokyo. Yeah, that's right. It's soon going to be the thing to go and see. Low box office returns puts any more live-action JoJo's Bizarre Adventure sequels in question. Ha ha, it's a good day to love anime stuff. But anyway, let's get started with the absolutely completely random podcast. And if you don't know by now, I'm on eBay. Check me out. ARHOADS-2012 on eBay. I got a wide variety of crap. Good collectibles, trading cards. I am working on getting some manga up. I do have some comic books that I put up every now and then. I still have some other miscellaneous oddities, things like that. Conversation starters. Things you can stick in a box and give to your great-grandchildren one day. I don't care. But anyway, come check me out. ARHOADS-2012 on eBay. Gotta specify that hyphen. You can also follow me on Twitter at OtakuRhodes. So, what do we got going on this week? Well, I'm 28 years old now! Woo! I actually do have a blower, but I forgot it. That goes, yeah, I have one of those, and I actually forgot it. But anyway, yep, my birthday was yesterday. I actually have to admit, and my mom kind of admitted it too, it was a weird day. Weather-wise, I should say. It was weird weather-wise. She constantly told me the story when I was growing up that it was really super hot the day I was born. Then it gave a storm and it cooled down that night. Well, it was muggy to start off on Friday. I ended up coming home and showering a second time after work. And then it rained in the afternoon, only for it to basically become somewhat cooler and warmer than later today. So that was actually kind of neat. But anyway, it was a fun birthday. I want to thank everybody on Twitter, all my friends on Facebook for giving me birthday wishes. Thank you so much. Oh, that was cool. But yeah, thank you so much for that. I do appreciate it. So, yeah. So what happens after that? Well, I'm 28 now, so I'm officially another year older. Although, yesterday, I was joking around. I was like, I'm 28, but damn if I don't feel like I'm 70. I mean, I pretty much came home from work, and I'm like, I'm walking in there like I need a cane, I need a walker. I just got my ass whooped by Father Times on my back. It's like, I just was like beat to hell. And I'm thinking to myself, I feel like I'm 70. I'm only 28, but I feel like I'm 70. So, yep. But either way, I had a fun birthday. Here's to another year of fun stuff to come. I got a lot of stuff I'm looking forward to for this coming year of my life, for the 28th year I've been here. But anyway, it's a really great day. Had an interesting week at work. Mostly same old, but just kind of interesting, talking with my coworkers and everything else. I don't have any interesting stories, though, this week, unfortunately, because I didn't have to push any SUVs this time. I didn't get emasculated by my mom this week. So unfortunately, I have no stories to tell. And I know everybody likes those. I have no stories to tell this week, unfortunately, because I just didn't really do much of anything this week. It was just too damn hot. I'm like that Simpsons episode when Krusty got busted for tax evasion. And it's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't divulge anything about that customer's secret illegal account. I shouldn't have said he was a customer. I shouldn't have said it was secret. I shouldn't have said it was illegal. It's too hot today. Yeah, that's what I was feeling like all week. It's just too hot today to do most of anything. I was just so damn hot this week. It was unreal. But yeah, either way, I'm excited. So let's get the podcast started, shall we? Okay, so let's get started here. Let's talk about Livestrider. This is actually a really great YouTuber out there. He does a lot of top 10 videos. I really gotta admit this, he is funny. I did base an Andrew Rant's video that I did. Both him and Robin from Anime America actually gave me the inspiration for it because they bitched about Aiken in one of their videos, and I like Aiken. I always did. To me, it was like the high school drama series that you kind of wanted to have happen to you, but you knew it was never going to happen. And I started reading it in high school, so that's why I started doing that one. But anyway, Livestrider did a top 6 live-action kids show video. Now, some of the ones on there I had heard about. He had Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which, yeah, okay, I watched it. When they started doing reruns, it was screw this crap. They had Lazy Town. Yes, I watched it. I get cringing, and my ass gets so tight you can literally cut steel with it, probably, whenever I hear the end music sung by that little annoying harpy. And it's all because that one interested me, because I did not know this, that apparently it was a sports or athlete in the country of its origin who actually came up with the idea of like, hey, there are no good sports, there are no good athletes, role models for kids. I'm going to be that. Congratulations. But one of them on there was a show that I watched a lot growing up. No, it was not Bill Nye the Science Guy. I couldn't stand him. I still can't stand him to this day. I don't know why, I just can't stand Bill Nye the Science Guy. But no, I used to watch Beakman's World. Now, Beakman's World is that odd show that Paul Zalug did, and I probably mispronounced his name, and I do apologize. But anyway, it was a really interesting show. He played a scientist that explains how things work. Until I saw that show, I did not know how television works. How television worked. An ongoing joke that my mom didn't even know about until I told her a couple years ago was that when I heard a television, I thought that if she was watching the same channel in another room that I had on in another room, and we were basically in 2 separate rooms, and we each had the same channel on, 2 different televisions, that she could see what I was doing. That's exactly what I thought every single time whenever I'm watching television. It's like, she's in the living room. Okay, I gotta make sure that I don't have the channel on something that she's gonna change. She's liable to see what I'm doing. Then when I watched Beakman's World and I found out how television actually works, and it's like, oh! Okay, she really can't see what I'm doing. Oh, okay. Alrighty. But it's really cool, because Beakman's World had a couple lab assistants. The one I didn't like, she scared me. In fact, I looked her up on Wikipedia when I was looking up the show years ago, when I was in high school, and it looked like, the picture of her on Wikipedia, she was taking a samurai katana to a watermelon. And I'm like, okay! You were on a kid's show. Okay. Sure, we'll go with that. But one of the characters that I adored on that show was Lester the Rat. I always thought he was kind of funny, but still at the same time, it wasn't that bad of a show. I mean, it definitely taught me something about science. Did I follow through on a scientific career? Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't follow through on a science career. Nah. But anyway, it was a good show, and it got me to watch a video that came out a couple years ago from Disillusion. It was called Beakmallusion, a combination of Beakman's World and Disillusion. Now, Disillusion, I've watched a couple of the videos since I watched the Beak Illusion one, and how in the hell he got views, I'll never figure out. In all honesty, his videos literally just seem like a watered-down version of Mythbusters. I mean that. So, as fun and entertaining as it was, it just made me really miss Beakman's World. And the episode that they talked about on that Beak Illusion was Perpetual Energy, a perpetual motion machine, which will never happen. Beakman explains why. And it was really entertaining. It just took me right back there. And it made me think, why isn't he doing, like, YouTube videos? Beakman's World on YouTube, like Beakman's science video. How this works, or Beakman explains this. That would be something that I think would be really cool, especially with this generation. Unless he's dead or something, I don't know. I haven't kept up 100% on it. But, I mean, that would be something neat for this generation. Because you have the generation that is all technological. I mean, we're on... I shouldn't even say we, I'm not on at all. I'm not on a majority of this crap. But I have a tablet, so you figure they're on tablets. They're on computers, desktops, laptops, their phones, you name it. If it can connect to the World Wide Web, they're on it. Hell, I guarantee you at some point in the future, we're going to have toilet paper that is literally going to be just a small, thin screen that holds a Wi-Fi connection for about, like, maybe a minute. You can use it to check an email. Okay, that's done. That's how technology's going, if you ask. It's kind of funny if you think about it. But I enjoyed the video. I liked it. It just made me miss Beakman's World. I was just wondering why, nobody does stuff like that. And no, I don't want Bill Nye the Science Guy doing YouTube videos now. Nobody needs Bill Nye the Science Guy. I'm sorry, I was never a fan of his. But anyway, I like Beakman's World. But some of the other ones on that list that Livestrider did weren't too bad. Although, based on the image he was using and what he was talking about and using in between each of the entries on the list, it was safe to see which one was going to hit number one. Spoiler, by the way, if you didn't see the video yet, it's Sesame Street. He's hanging out with Elmo, talking about octagons. It's Sesame Street. Who the hell didn't see that coming? Oh, Sesame Street. Yeah, no crap. Sesame Street's always going to be the number one live-action kids show, because how many generations of kids did that not teach anything to? Oh, Sesame Street taught me how to count. Yeah, it taught me how to count, too. 1 loser, 2 losers, 3 losers, That's what Sesame Street taught me. I can count like to count. It taught me to not eat like Cookie Monster, apparently, because if you do, parents are going to bitch and complain, and then you're going to end up having to feed him vegetables because a parent complained, oh, he's eating his cookies, which is in his name. But, yeah, so either way, that's one of the topics that I had for this week was Livestrider's video. I thought it was really well done. First off, kudos to you. You do a great thing on YouTube. Just do me a favor. If you want to talk about an anime series, that's fine. If you want to get people in that know about anime, that's fine. Don't just be grade 1 series because a whole bunch of people hate it. There are some good points in a lot of stuff. You may not like certain shows that I like and vice versa. So don't diminish one thing just because you don't like it. Fair piece of advice from one person to another. From one YouTuber to another YouTuber. There you go. But either way, check out the video. And if you get a chance, check out some of the back episodes of Beakman's World. It's a really good show. I recommend that to anybody. The Absolutely Completely Random Podcast is taking a very short break. I need to stretch and do a couple other things. I'll be right back. If you're looking for collectibles, oddities, things you just don't ever see anywhere else, or that you want to have for conversation starters, check out A-Roads 2012 on eBay. I've got a tremendous amount of stuff. And, well, I'm A-Rhodes 2012. I'm also Andrew Rhodes, the host of the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast, Andrew Rants and Andrew's Theories, here on YouTube. So make sure you check out A-Rhodes 2012 on eBay for all your trading card needs. And other oddities, too. You never know. I might have something that might just interest you. Whoa, whoa, whoa! You can put down the remote and don't click off the browser. We're back. I told you it wouldn't take long. Alright, so the original Gundam series. Let's all remember that for a moment. The show that came out way back in the good old days. You know, when anime actually had a say in it. And a say in how it did stuff, anyway. It was still new. It was still entertaining to a point. It was, well, by nowadays, it's classic. I mean, I was just talking with one of my subscribers earlier this week over in Andrew Rand's video about how they're asking, so I was saying something about, it's an Andrew's Theory. That's right. It was Andrew's Theory's video I put out earlier this week. Going about, I've never seen Dragon Ball, would you recommend it? Yeah, I'd recommend it. It's a cult classic as far as series nowadays are concerned. I mean, it is literally a cult classic. Then it was like, well, is it kid-friendly? That's a loaded question. When it originally came out back in the 80s, yeah, Dragon Ball was kid-friendly like you wouldn't believe. I mean, hell, it was entertaining and funny, and it was humorously pandering to kids, but not in a demeaning way. By nowadays standards, I couldn't answer that. Because so much has changed in the world that you really couldn't answer whether or not it's kid-friendly anymore. But it's still, that was entertaining. But let's remember, Gundam came out in 1979. That's right, the literal end of the 70s. The 70s. When Star Wars was raping the box office with money, people were going around screaming, Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father! And people out in the lines were going, well, what happened to Solo? Is he going to get laid with Leia? All questions that would never get answered for like a couple decades. And still, we don't have decent answers to the questions that we really want Star Wars related. Yeah. But anyway, on with the topic here. So, illustrator and anime director Yoshikazu Yasuhiko stated in an interview with the Daily Sport newspaper that he would be open to a remake of the original 1979 Mobile Suit Gundam anime. First off, I'm not a big fan of remakes, but I do kind of have a thing. If it's a remake of a series that's X amount of years old, it's fair game. So, like, if you're talking about a series that came out, like, in the 80s, from anywhere from, like, I want to go with, let's go with 78, because I think there were a couple that came out in 78. So let's go with 78, just so I can throw this in the list. But either way, anything, like, from 75 to 90, I would consider you can remake this. Because the animation style for anime has improved so much over the years since then. I mean, you have CGI animation that you can throw into anime. You have more line depth you can make. You can actually use different color combinations to make the pictures seem like they're more deeper than they were before. Especially with mech series. I mean, we've had so many Gundam series after Mobile Suit Gundam came out. You had Gundam Wing, Zeta Gundam, Double Zeta Gundam. You had Gundam Wing, Mobile Fighter G Gundam, Build Fighters Try, both of which I highly recommend checking out. They're really good. Unicorn, Thunderbolt came out. I actually did like Reconquista in G for the bits I was able to watch until it got blacklisted here in the U.S. But anyway, I would be up for a remake of the original Mobile Suit series. Because the animation back then looks like it's washed out. I mean, like, now if the original creators of Transformers, and I'm going to use a cartoon here for a moment as an example because it's the only thing I can compare it to at the time. If they would come out and say, we're going to remake all of G1. Like the entire Transformers Generation 1, we're going to remake that. I would be game for it because it really could use an upgrade. just in animation style alone, it could use an upgrade. For Mobile Suit Gundam, yes, it could use the upgrade. I mean, and plus, not a lot of people know the series unless they're playing some of the more relevant and recent Gundam games, like Dynasty Warriors Gundam, Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2, and Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3. I'm pretty sure that there was a third one. Don't shoot me if there wasn't. I only played the second one, and I played the demo of the first one. So anyway. But it's definitely a series that, in my opinion, does garner the need for a reboot. Because it could easily fall under it's nostalgically old, it's a classic, but it's a classic that could get a modernized touch and be brought into the newer centuries. So it's sort of a touchy gray area. But back to the article at hand here. So in response to a question of whether the ongoing Mobile Suit Gundam, the original prequel anime series, will eventually continue on to the main one-year war story from the first Gundam series, Yoshihiko replied, "I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't do it. The length of the story is no joke, though." He almost stated that the staff feels the same way. Yeah, the first Gundam series was long. I mean, that was literally one entire plot that actually branched off and continued into Zeta Gundam, Char's one-year war, or no, Char's counterattack. I'm sorry, Char's counterattack. Even parts of Double Zeta had parts of the original Gundam series in it, because they were still mopping up the floor with Neo Zeon. Even with the Zeon Federation. They were still mopping up remnants of them that decided to become Neo Zeon, decided to become Neo Zeon or something stupid like that. They were still mopping up them yet. The Daily Sports, though, reported that there is a big project or projects underway to celebrate the anime's 40th anniversary in 2019, but did not state whether this project would be a remake. I hope it is. Yoshihiko stated that he still has some regrets regarding the 1979 series and how its scheduling and budgeting and budget issues prevented it from reaching its best form. Ooh, that's interesting. So in other words, it could have been better, but we don't know if it could have been better because of issues outside the general fans' control. That's interesting. He was quoted as saying, the first series is always number one to me. But now, even if you want to show it to young people, you can't. Yeah, because so many people bitch and complain about it because, oh, it's so dangerous, it's, it's war, it's going to scar them. Grow the hell up, people. But Yoshihiko worked as an animation director for the character design of the original series, as well as the character designer for the sequel Zeta Gundam. Oh, okay, I forgot about Mobile Suit Gundam F91, Mobile Suit Gundam UC, which was Unicorn. He later launched the Gundam, the original manga, in 2001, and it ended 10 years later in 2011. The manga is a retelling of the original series story with some of the details changed, so on and so forth, the song and dance already. So, the original series centers on the Earth Federation. For those of you that don't know what it is, this is what it is. The Earth Federation and the space colony dwelling Principality of Zeon. The Zeons have recently declared independence from the Federation. We didn't know that was ever going to happen again. Plunging the solar system into a devastating conflict that will come to be known as the One-Year War. Amuro Ray, a teen who lives in the Federation colony of Side 7, is embroiled in a surprise Zeon attack and accidentally stumbles into the RX-78 Gundam. Yeah, by accidentally, if memory serves, he crawled into it. The Federation's newest weapon. He uses it to fend off the attackers and is then thrown into the front lines of the One-Year War, often facing the Char Aznavour, Zeon's Red Comet ace pilot. So basically, he faced Char multiple times. And if you think about it, and I mean really think about it, it's a really good series. I mean, you can pull up clips online and everything else, but yeah, you try showing it to younger people nowadays. They're not going to want to watch it, and then people will bitch if you try. It's something that's bad, but yet good. The first series spawned sequels, numerous spin-offs, works, set in both the original series continuity as well as alternate universes. And Right Stuff re-released the original series on DVD 2 years ago in 2015. So it is out there. You can find it. You can also find clips online of it. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good series. I recommend it. But the fact that if it would get a remake, that'd be huge. I mean, that would seriously be a major thing. Gundam gets the original Mobile Suit series gets a remake 40 years after it originally airs. That would be huge. I guarantee you will have old school fans that are grown up with kids popping around the television going, I used to watch this when I was your age. When I was your age, I was watching this. And they're just going to be sucked into the nostalgia with their kids. It'll give them something. Yeah, like I said, this is something that I could definitely see a remake for. And I'm not exactly a fan of remakes. I mean, don't get me started on Sailor Moon Crystal. Nobody asked for that. Not one person asked to have Sailor Moon rebooted. I sure as hell didn't. It was fine the way it was. But with certain series, especially when it comes to mech-based ones, you could actually redo them and remake them because of the advancements in animation styles. Because you can make them look, you can separate the robot from the background, which was something that always bugged me about the Gundam series, especially Mobile Suit Gundam, was that if you really looked at it, the color schemes, granted they didn't match exactly, but you couldn't really tell the difference from where the Gundam was to where the background was without the help of that black line separating the outer region of the arms and the legs and the body. Because they had the exact same color palette tone, and it's what annoyed me. But anyway, yeah, I'd be up for a reboot. I don't know about you, but I would. I think that would be a really great idea. So maybe it'll come to happen. I don't know. We can only hope. We can only hope, I guess. Alrighty. Let's talk about Gundams again. Yep. The new life-size Gundam is nearing its completion in Tokyo. Unicorn's RXO is going to be replacing the original statue. And I talked about this beforehand, and this is basically, I guess, what you'd call a follow-up. But anyway, the denizens of Tokyo, you can once again breathe a sigh of relief. You can be safe once again, because there will once more be a defender standing by your side, protecting you from all that your local police can't do. As a Gundam Mobile Suit will once again stand and defend your city. Fans of the Mecha franchise were heartbroken last December when it was announced that the RX-78-2 statue in Odaiba was unfortunately going to be scrapped. It was announced this March, however, that a brand new model based on the RXO, or the RX-0 from Gundam Unicorn, would take its place. So, it's really cool. There was some pictures of it. And it's kind of neat from what I saw. Let's see, it's a part of a pair of arms and feet that appears to be nearing its final form. Let's see, in March it was announced the RX-0 would debut this fall, so it appears everything is on schedule. Well, of course. Why would you think it would not be? But anyway, the statue stands at the foot of Gundam Base Tokyo, which houses a huge collection of Gunpla models. So Gundam fans, you can now safely return to Tokyo, because the RX-0 is defending the land. Personally, I think that's kind of interesting that they're actually on a schedule with it. It'll be up. I'm actually one of the many that were heartbroken with the fact that they scrapped the RX-78-2. I mean, they couldn't have moved it somewhere else and made it like a symbol of something, but no. They scrapped it, which was sad, but then again, it was standing there for so long. Be happy it lasted as long as it did. But still, yes, it was sad that it had to go. But either way, it's really cool that the RX-0 is preparing to take its place. and become the next Gundam protecting Tokyo. Now, if only they would give us Gundam Wing Zero, because I would totally pilot Wing Zero to protect Tokyo from any threat. I will survive as I blast the double buster rifle straight at any falling meteorites or creatures coming out of the ocean. And I mean like kaiju, stuff like that. But either way, this is really neat. So, if you go to Japan, you will soon be greeted with RX-0 instead of the old RX-78, but make sure you get some decent pictures, because who knows how long that one will last. It might get taken down and replaced with, I don't know, Zeta Gundam, Double Zeta Gundam, Thunderbolt, Destiny. You never know. But either way, that's kind of neat. So, I'm looking forward to that. It's just another reason for me to want to go over to Tokyo. You're listening to the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. The only podcast where I can talk for an entire hour and nobody ever tells me to shut up. You people are out there, right? Alright. Sword Art Online. I love Sword Art Online. I always have. The seasons were great. The episodes, the story, the plot, all wonderful. Why people can't stand it, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So, the new trailer for Fatal Bullet, Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, dropped yesterday. Oh, God. So, Bandai Namco, or as some people have come to call them, Bamco, I like that, announced their upcoming Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, the newest entry into the action RPG. Departing from the format of previous games, this one will be a third-person shooter along with the RPG. The title will be available in early 2018 for the PlayStation 4, and for the first time on Xbox One and PCs via Steam. Yes, you can actually play this if you have a Steam account, and are probably willing to drop like $30-40 bucks. I mean, let's face it, a lot of this stuff brand new ain't cheap. But I saw the trailer for this, and I didn't see much in the RPG element of this. I mostly saw first-person shooter, not third-person, first-person. Third person would indicate that you actually can see the person, which you did in a couple scenes, but a majority of what they showed you was like targeting, where you're literally looking at the target thing and the gun, you see the edge of the gun, and there's the targeting. So yeah, third person, but I think it kind of goes into first person too in a way. Well, especially with sniper rifles, I would assume, like Shion's. But anyway, or Sinnoh, or I think it was Shion. Yeah, that's how it was. But anyway, they described the game as follows. Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet brings an exciting twist to the popular action RPG series by adding third-person shooter elements into the game, forming a unique hybrid shooter/RPG/action title that balances gun and sword play with skill and gadget combat to create a new dynamic experience. So obviously you've never played Devil May Cry. I'm pretty sure they had that in that game. I can almost guarantee you, I remember that being in Devil May Cry. I remember him having a sword, and I remember him having a gun. So, I call bullshit on that. Plus, oh, wait, hold on. I can think of another one here. Oh, yeah. Phantasy Star Online had swords and guns you could use. Third-person shooter and sword in an RPG. Huh. Forming a unique hybrid that has never been seen before. Uh-huh. It's been seen before. Let's try that song and dance again, you assholes. But anyway, yeah. Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet will feature an engrossing original story, supervised by Sword Art Online creator Riki Kawahara. Beautiful bastard. That takes players into the world of Gun Gale Online. That was from the second season, by the way. Players will be able to dive right into the immersive landscape developed by DIMPS. D-I-M-P-S. I could come up with a decent way to explain their acronym, but I'll save it. But anyway, where was I? Okay, there we go. And enjoy robust environments, and textures powered by Unreal Engine 4. Yes, Unreal Engine 4, the thing that's currently taking over any and all gaming in the world. I'm amazed I didn't hear more about that at E3, because all I remember from E3 was 1080p 4K, 1080p 4K. That's all I heard. That's all I remember hearing. Using agile double jumps, air dashes, wall-to-wall rappelling, and quick weapon swapping, players will engage in brisk platforming and shooting gameplay as they embark on epic adventures, rounding out the package. Full multiplayer cooperative and competitive modes will let 2 to 8 players collaborate and compete against one another online. What the hell are they smoking? No. Let's really dissect this for a moment. So, you can use double jumps, air dashes, wall-to-wall rappelling, and quick weapon swapping. So, are we playing an RPG, shooting game, or The Prince of Persia? Because I'm kind of starting to feel like we're playing either The Prince of Persia or Assassin's Creed here. Because you're basically throwing in shit that was in their games. Is any of this even actually something that they came up with? Or are they just taking shit from other games and throwing it into their own? Yeah, we're just going to throw this, and this in, and, we'll throw in this and this. Yeah, that'll do. Put it in an original story, slap a label on it, and it's ours. Sword Art Online gets enough hate as it is. I love the series, but it gets enough hate as it is from people. I don't think they're going to want to play the game where you're basically telling them, yeah, you can stiff it, because we're going to do this our way. We're just going to take stuff from other games. And multiplayer, cooperative, and competitive modes. Yeah, I can see competitive mode being great. You got 8 of your friends. You got 7 of your friends on a couch with you. So that brings you 8 total, you included. And all of a sudden, you find yourself getting shot by the person next to you. It just makes me think of that episode of South Park where they're all playing, Half-Life or something on the school's computers. And you just see all the boys and all the characters are like, yeah, I just got you, you little bastard. Screw you. That's all I'd be seeing on that. But sure, why not? What do you expect from Dimps anyway? D-I-M-P-S. Dimps. I can't even think of a good one for that. So, yeah, I wasn't really blown away by the trailer. I wasn't blown away by the premise of this. If you want to make a decent RPG game with Sword Art Online, I'm all for that. But don't just haphazardly make one to make money on the title because it's an anime title, thinking that you're going to nail in those anime fans and the otakus out there, because you're not. All you're going to do is basically piss off people. But then again, I guess to each their own. But this thing comes out sometime next year. Yeah, early 2018. Hopefully it gets blocked or stopped or something, because I just can't. I mean, I like Sword Art Online, but even I would kind of be siding with the haters on this one. I just can't. I don't know why. All right, Discotheque. Oh yeah, it's Discotheque, 'cause I can't stand Discotheque. I really can't. I've actually watched some of their titles, and they're not exactly... Well, let me put it this way. In my box of anime titles, I think I have 2. That should answer your question about whether or not I like them. But the fine folks over at Discotheque, yeah, they announced that they acquired a whole mess of classics, including some series from the early 2000s to films from the 80s. Some more recent series about cats hidden in bananas. Yes, welcome to weirdness. So, here we go about, this is going to be interesting. So first up, they acquired the rights for Cyborg 009, the Cyborg Soldier. The 2001 series based on the classic sci-fi manga by Sutaru Ishinomori. Cyborg 009 has been adapted many times. One of my favorites was, this is the one that aired on Cartoon Network. Okay, yeah, so this would be the one that I liked. I was trying to remember which one I liked, and I remember it was on, like, Cartoon Network's Toonami. Yep, this is it. I liked this one. This was a good one. So, yeah, great, you got your hands on that one. That's nice of you. I mean, I have no problem if you want to bring stuff in from the past. Yeah, this was a good series. It's hard to find, too. So, yeah, if you guys want to bring it out, be my guest. But the next one up, they scooped up the 52-episode Project Arms, another early 2000s series about a high schooler whose arm has been transformed into a nanomachine-powered weapon. Nah. I mean, there was a one that I remember seeing years ago. I actually got it for like $1. It was called Techonize or something. It boggled my mind, but yeah, no. But wrapping up the list of early 2000 series, thank God for that, by the way, is a series called Nia 7. NIEA 7. An offbeat series about humans that coexist with aliens. The series is probably most famous for its Yoshitoshi Abe character designs. Oh, God's sake. And was originally released by Ganon way back when they were still called Pioneer. So you're just dusting off old relics from other throwaways from other publishers, huh? Never heard of it. Doesn't seem like a good plot. But Discotek also licensed the series with a more recent vintage. Banana. Oh, God. Which is about cats who hide out in bananas. Okay. I've officially seen all the crap now in the world. But if you think Discotek is filled with crap, well, for those of you that like Tomorrow's Joe, well, guess what? They actually picked up the old school, the really old school, 1980s movie version of Tomorrow's Joe, which retells the story of the 70s series in cinematic form. So you basically got the Cliff Notes version. Way to go! But the company's home video release is not complete without Lupin III, the Legend of the Gold of Babylon. The decisive 1985 Lupin film, directed by cult filmmaker Seijun Suzuki. Discotek originally announced a DVD for the film over 10 years ago. But the market wasn't ready for the weirdness of the movie at the time. 10 years ago, Discotek, I was graduating from high school. There was a ton of weird anime out there. There was an anime out there called Sergeant Frog. At least trailers for an anime series called Sergeant Frog. Try again. Weirdness? You're looking at weirdness in the rearview mirror 10 years ago. Weirdness is in the rearview mirror as you're moving forward down the highway. Try again. No, I think it was mostly, we got the rights to it. No, we don't have the rights to it. Well, we're announcing a DVD for it. Oh, yeah, but we don't have the rights to it. Yeah, screw it. Now, the world wasn't ready for the weirdness. Come on. The movie was made back in the 80s. Weirdness was a necessity for those movies back in the good old 80s. I mean, come on. Anime Abandon constantly throws the weirdness in our faces every time he reviews one of those. God bless you, Sage. But anyway, that's a load of bull. Wasn't ready for the weirdness. No, I don't think it was you actually got the rights for it to release it. But anyway, I mean, what makes a difference 10 years later? What, not the movie's 20 years old, over 20 years old? That makes it a difference now? But anyway, prepare your wallets, because you're about to get hassled for a lot of your money. I'm sorry if I sound cynical with this, but Discotech really is not one of my favorite publishers. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they are literally the bottom of the barrel of crap. I mean, if you would come up to me and go, name your top 4 favorite publishers, Viz, Funimation, and it would honestly be a toss-up for the third spot. The ones that I can't stand, Media Blasters, Discotech, just to name a few. I know there are a couple other ones out there. I can't think of another one. But yeah, I'm not a fan of some publishers. Some of the, industry publishers that do this, they screw around, they tiptoe. I mean, okay, granted, they can't put up the cash and pony up the money for the good series. They can't fly off the handle for the flagship, so they got to get some of the lesser-known titles. Can't call yourself an otaku unless you know the lesser-known titles, but at the same time, why do the horrible companies got to get them? I just can't stand Discotech. The fact that they're coming with so many titles is like, yeah, a lot of these other companies are just kicking our asses. We got to get something out there. All right, okay, Ganon. I guess Ganon would be a third one. Hell, I would have taken Sunrise and Bandai over this. Which brings up another point in this, because this was also brought up earlier this week. Apparently, Sunrise is releasing Mobile Fighter G Gundam. Now, what's ironic about this is I know Bandai had the rights to that back in the day, because I still have some of the Bandai editions yet. Yeah, that's right. I still got some of the single-out Bandai DVDs. But what I find interesting is that if you look really carefully on some of those, you see the words Sunrise. Hell, the newer Gundam series that were coming out before Bandai decided to jump out of the anime market still said Sunrise. Gundam Build Fighters and Build Fighters Try said Sunrise. Unicorn said Sunrise. And it's like, yeah, we're re-releasing it. Why? It's already out there. It's not that difficult to find. I can find half a dozen of those on eBay for like $10. Granted, they're not in the world's greatest condition, but then again, if they play, it still works. You can't be picky when you're collecting something. But, I mean, if they want a series, if any of these publishers want a series to bring back, to license and bring back out to the world, might I recommend Great Dan Gaio. This was a series that was 4 volumes long. I owned 3 of the 4. Could never find Volume 1. I had Volume 2, Volume 3, and Volume 4. I could never find Volume 1 to save my life. Got rid of the last 3. Have not found a single copy anywhere else. So, I mean, that's a series that somebody could bring to the table. Why are you just bringing out the offbeat ones that either nobody's heard about, nobody cares about, or that didn't make it in the U.S. for a reason in the first place? I don't know. I'm not a fan of Discotech, but yeah, you know what? Some of these titles might appeal to people. I know Tomorrow's Joe will definitely appeal to a lot of people. Lupin the Third will, Cyborg 009. But as far as Project Arms and Nye A7, whatever the hell that is, I think you're grasping at the straw. It's like we had to grab X amount of them to get the ones that we wanted, which I understand because that's how it works. But still, you guys could have tried to pick some better ones out of the pile that they threw in front of you to pick from. Seriously, I mean, you just half-assed it, as far as I'm concerned. But you keep your eyes peeled. They'll be coming out soon. Get your wallets ready. About to kiss your money goodbye. This is Professor Sherman T. Clump, and you're listening to the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast, only on YouTube. Now, if you excuse me, I gotta get back to the kitchen and get back to my sandwich. It's a very special sandwich. You know, it just wouldn't be a podcast if I didn't talk about Hayao Miyazaki, The legendary creator, the visionary, the dreamer. Yep. This wouldn't be a podcast anymore if I didn't talk about Miyazaki at some point. Well, guess what? If you're a fan of Castle in the Sky, good news! It's coming back to movie theaters. The legendary Studio Ghibli and Hayao Miyazaki movie about a rollicking adventure about a young girl with a mysterious crystal pendant who falls out of the sky and into the arms and life of young Pazu. Yet together they search for a floating island, the site of a long-dead civilization, promising enormous wealth and power to those who can unlock its secrets. But greedy pirates, spies, and the army are also in a hot pursuit. So yeah, but Studio Ghibli's one of their earliest works, one of the first films to be officially released under the studio's banner, Castle in the Sky quickly established a reputation for strong heroines, unforgettable storytelling, and beautiful artwork. Strong heroines, yes. Unforgettable storytelling, I've forgotten it. And beautiful artwork, I thought Kiki's Delivery Service and My Neighbor Totoro were better. Sorry! The English dub cast includes the vocal talents of Anna Paquin, James Vanderbeek. Oh, Lord. Oh! James Vanderbeek! Oh, wow, that's great, that's great. Cloris Leachman, Mark Hamill. Well, when you're not doing Luke Skywalker, you gotta do something else, huh? Oh, that's right, you also did the Joker. Oh, good Lord. Mandy Patinkin, Jim Cummings, and more. Sounds like they're dragging out the B-list actors in this one. Dubbed in English on August 27th and 30th and subtitled on the 28th. So, yeah, you got a little bit yet to go. The special 3-day event will also feature G-Kids Mini Fest, an ongoing festival of the best animated shorts from around the world. You know, if Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli want to re-release some of their older movies, I know they already did Kiki's Delivery Service. Here's an idea. Why don't you re-release them in high def? Put them out on DVD, then you'll make more money than movie sales. I mean, granted, they're only going to buy it once. If you go to the theater, they can buy it multiple times, but then the theater's got to take their cut. Whereas you sell a whole bunch to the stores, and you just get the direct cut. But yeah, you're just dragging in B-listers on this. Like, the English dub cast included. Anna Paquin, James Vanderbeek. What the hell has James Vanderbeek done in the last, 10 years? Mark Hamill. Okay, he did the Joker, Skips, Star Wars. I really was in something else to escape me at the moment. Mandy Patinkin. Who the hell is that? Jim Cummings. How many more people did you drag into this? I mean, you can't fit a tremendous amount of people in one singular vocal studio. So, yeah, alright, so they're re-releasing it. It's going to be subbed and dubbed, like always. But, I mean, good God. What is wrong with them at this point? They got to re-release their movies in theaters. If you want to re-release it on DVD and let the people at least have a chance to view them. No, we're just going to shove them out into theaters. I mean, damn. But no, I'm not a fan of Castle in the Sky. I did watch it, so don't say, oh, he just never watched it. No. I did watch it. Back when Toonami did their month of Miyazaki, I did watch it. But it really just was not one of my favorite movies. Like I said, My Neighbor Totoro was better. Kiki's Delivery Service was better. I would even go as far as to say The Secret World of Arrietty was better. And that's a stretch for me to even say that. I'm still looking to find some of the other Studio Ghibli movies that came out in the last, I want to say 5 to 10 years. Like The Wind Rises, When Marie Was There, stuff like that. I'm still looking for that stuff yet. So I can watch that and go, yeah, okay, this isn't too bad either. But as far as Castle in the Sky, I mean, Howl's Moving Castle wasn't even that good. At least not in my opinion. It was interesting. But Spirited Away was more interesting than that. In fact, Spirited Away would even get on my list as like my top 3. Have Kiki's Delivery Service, Spirited Away, and Ponyo. Ponyo was a lot better. So yeah, Kiki's Delivery Service, Ponyo, Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, all those were better than Castle in the Sky. Castle in the Sky, as far as I was concerned, was literally a washout of a film. But that's my opinion, but it's my opinion anyway. But if you like the movie, you want to go see it in theaters, it's going to be in theaters on 27th, 28th, I'm guessing the 30th. I don't know, but that seems a little weird. Okay, 27th and 30th is when it's going to be dubbed in English, and it's going to be subtitled on the 28th. So what the hell is happening on the 29th? They taking a break and just going to be playing bongo drums on the stage or something? That'd be a 4-day event. Why have it dubbed one day, subbed another day, then you got to wait a whole day before you can go back and watch it subbed again, or watch it dubbed again? I want to go with no. But yeah, if you want to see it, check it out. They'll be in theaters. Check around here, I guess. Check around. Check your local theaters. If not, I just recommend this. So if you really want to see it, here's what I recommend you do. Go buy the DVD. Because then you can watch it in the privacy of your own home, and you don't have to worry about it. In fact, I think it's even out on Blu-ray, so you can just get it on Blu-ray if you want. But yeah, I don't recommend going to the theaters to see it, especially if it's already been out. Go check it out online. Get the DVD or get the Blu-ray. It might be good for some people. As far as I'm concerned, it's not that good of a movie as far as I'm concerned. I want to just warm up for the in-your-face stance on this one. So, I've been saying it before, I'll say it 1,000 times over. Live action anime titles suck, and suck. You want another one to add on to that list that suck? JoJo's Bizzare Adventure. In an article brought to me by Otaku USA, by the way, great source for anime, J-pop, cosplay, and all your other fun stuff. I recommend picking up a subscription. That could be right now because of their 10-year anniversary. 10-year anniversary. I just got an email tonight saying it's like $14 for a 1-year subscription. Check that out if you get their newsletter. Otherwise, it's like $20 for 6 issues because it's for like a bi-monthly. Yeah, I recommend getting that. That's really not that bad. It's really good. You get a manga in the middle of it. Sometimes you'll get a poster. I highly recommend checking it out. I mean, I got a whole little box full of them here with me, buried at one spot or another. But anyway, yeah, but thanks to them, I got this article. So, they said, apparently we weren't the only ones with a low opinion of the live-action adaptation of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I have a low opinion of all live-action anime adaptations. Though the film was intended to be the first in a series, its low box office returns have put those plans in doubt. Screw doubt. I believe they have put those plans in jeopardy. And I don't mean the Alex Trebek or Don Pardo jeopardy. No, I mean deep shit jeopardy. Where there is no daily double, and you're in the middle of Final Jeopardy when you get into that version. When you get into this version of Jeopardy, you're in Final Jeopardy. There is no redeeming yourself. It's all or nothing, and you're going to get screwed. The film opened on August 4th. It made 166 million yen during its first week and opened in 5th place. First off, it made 166 million in its first week. Opening in 5th place, and it came out on August 4th. That's not a good sign to start off with. Compare that to Tokyo Ghoul and Gintama, which made Tokyo Ghoul was 232 million, and Gintama was 541 million in their opening weeks, respectively. Yeah. If you're getting outbeat by a gaggish by a gag-like sci-fi fighting manga, your ass is grass. There is just no saving you at that point. Your ass is grass. Oricon quoted a representative as saying, "We'll base our decision on what happens from here on out. Like you didn't figure that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure may not translate well into a live-action adaptation. That'd be like me saying, let's make another Dragon Ball movie. Everybody loved Evolution." I would want to be bashed over the head with something if I'd say that. The Oricon article also mentioned that many fans were put off by the look of the film. But the others that have been praising it on Twitter and other social media platforms. First off, I guarantee you that those accounts are probably 100% fake. Because if many fans were put off by the look of the film, then that means that they were the true fans. The ones that were praising it on Twitter and other social media platforms were probably paid a small stipend by the company to say that the movie's good to get some asses in the seats. The author of that article protests the best chance for the film and its potential sequels is for it to do well over a long run with good word of mouth. Oh, that's good. However, considering it dropped to 11th place during its second week in theaters, 11th place! It dropped 6 whole slots in its second week? Yeah, you got a freaking stinker on your hands. Yeah, let's just keep beating this dead horse while we're at it. Holy crap! Chance of that happening seems slim at best. Slim? No. You literally dropped 6 spots from week 1 to week 2. I'm just a simple countryman, but I would tell you that you're screwed. You're uber screwed. You're omega screwed. Earthworms are looking up at you laughing. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They're looking down on you, laughing at you. You're screwed at that point. It dropped 6 spots to 11th place during the second week. Yeah, word of mouth. Good word of mouth. Sure they're praising this thing correctly? I mean, were they going on Twitter and other social media sites going, I thought JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was really entertaining? I guarantee you they were going, worst movie ever. I can hear comic book guy from The Simpsons bitching 1.5 miles away from here. I guarantee it. Worst movie ever. It dropped to 11th place. First off, you opened up in 5th. Now, depending on what your competition was for that week, I could understand if you got 5th place if something that was much more praised, much more advertised, much more looking forward to seeing came out. But then you drop 6 spots to 11th place in the second week. That's when I would just start yanking it out of theaters and going, you know what? It's done. No, forget it. I would Pluto Nash this. And for those of you that don't know, because you're of a younger generation, The Adventures of Pluto Nash was a movie that starred Eddie Murphy. The movie lasted 1 showing in theaters before being yanked by almost every theater in the U.S. It actually caused some suicides at the production studio because it lost millions of dollars. I actually wanted to go see it. My mom and I were all set to go see it in theaters. We even had a backup movie just in case it was going to get sold out. We pull up to the theater. We're like, okay, there's a sign on the door. Yeah, it's probably saying The Adventures of Pluto Nash is sold out. We're sorry for, the, problem. We go up there. They have down there. We apologize for the inconvenience. However, The Adventures of Pluto Nash will no longer be shown at this theater. Again, we apologize for the inconvenience. And I'm like, well, I'm glad we had a backup movie. But it's just the fact that it got yanked after, because when we got our tickets, we actually asked the lady at the ticket counter, okay, so what happened with the movie? I mean, why did it get yanked? She goes, the people were literally coming out of the theater demanding their money back. They didn't even want to hear the words of, it's going to get better. They demanded their money back. I would probably be demanding my money back too, but I have yet to see it. I want to know how bad this is. But if you dropped from 5th place to 11th in the span of a week, that is bad. It don't take a rocket scientist to tell you that you have a stinker on your hands. And you want to make sequels out of this? No way. So, like I said though, I'm not a fan of live action adaptations, but this is definitely a sign that live action adaptations are on the way out the door. If it can't even yank it, and this isn't like it's an obscure anime series. This is one that has gotten a lot of praise. It's been on Toonami. It wrapped up. I know it had a manga. All anime series had a manga series, but it had a highest selling manga series. It was in Shonen Jump. It was on Toonami. It has anime. Hell, the latest issue of Otaku USA actually has a poster of it as the giveaway, the freebie for the month in the magazine. There's a poster in there. So you cannot tell me that this is not an unknown anime series. But the fact that it got 5th place and then drops to 11th in the span of a week. And I know I can't stop harping on that, but it's true. That to me signifies, oops, we don't know what we're doing. Because you obviously don't. And if you say you do, I'll call you a liar. Because if you flat out don't know what you're doing, you'll base your decision on what happens from here on out. Your movie dropped 6 spots in a span of a week. I would consider it done. It's roadkill at this point. I mean, sure. Okay, could it bounce back? Sure. And at the same time, the planets will align. I'll get a supermodel girlfriend. I'll become as strong as Goku. I'll magically become as rich as Tony Stark. And demons will appear out of the center of the earth and invade every country in the world. Yeah, I don't see that happening anytime soon. So I definitely don't see this movie getting out of 11th place anytime soon. That would be pretty cool if the planets aligned and I became as rich as Tony Stark and as powerful as Goku with a supermodel girlfriend. That'd be nice. But no, I mean, but enough about hypothetical erotic dreams. Enough about that. I'm going to pay for that, I know it. But, yeah, I don't see this pulling up out of 11th place. I think this one's done in the water. It's a shame to it. Now, I personally have never seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I've heard about it. I've actually read Chapter 2 when it was in Shonen Jump when they still did print issues, which, by the way, is going to become an Andrew Rants video because that still pisses me off to this day. But, yeah, I don't see this getting very good anymore. So there go any sequel ideas. In fact, I think this is one that should have never been made. But this should be a sign. This should be the nail in the coffin, the final nail in live-action adaptations. Nope, we can't do this shit. This stuff does not put asses in the seats. It does not bring in money. Because you tried it with a very popular title. You tried it with Dragon Ball. You tried it with Attack on Titan. Like I said, the only one that might succeed right now would be Full Metal Alchemist. But I don't even have my hopes that high anymore. Because it's liable to bomb out because they're liable to screw the pooch on it. Rurouni Kenshin is about the only one that actually worked because that was literally basically nothing but a samurai flick. But as far as live-action adaptations, please let this be the end. I can't put up with any more of this. God, they're just so horrible. I can't stand them anymore. But yeah, I don't see it pulling out of 11th place, so JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, may you rest in peace, because you sure ain't gonna be resting anywhere else. The Absolutely Completely Random podcast is brought to you by electricity. Because without it, I wouldn't be able to record anything on my laptop because my battery requires it in order to run and it needs electricity to recharge. Yeah, I know. But I can't get a water wheel in my room. Welcome to the Absolutely Completely Random podcast. Well, okay, you're already listening to the podcast if you're hearing me. But anyway, the Absolutely Completely Random podcast is a podcast that I put up here every Sunday on YouTube, where I talk about topics and articles that I find throughout the entire week. So, if you like what you hear, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you're brought up to date with all my videos, including Andrew Rants and Andrew's Theories. I also do some reviews from time to time, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But anyway, let me know, and don't forget to hit that lovely subscribe button. Okay, and now for I still have some time left. It's time for filler, time of the week. That's right, this section I like to use by adding some stuff in that I either didn't originally plan on, or because I gotta pad my time to make it at least an hour or just a little longer to make sure that I'm covered. And I thought, why not talk about a show that I've recently been watching with my grandfather? Yes, that's right. I spend the afternoons watching TV with my grandfather, making his final years on this planet comfortable and spending time with his family. And besides, who better to watch shows with? And normally I would watch an anime show, but since neither my mom nor my grandfather would A, understand it, or B, like it, I decided we should find something that he would like. Usually we would watch Car 54, Where Are You?, but we watched every single episode of it. We were watching Quincy, but again, started watching all of it and started losing track of which ones we watched, which ones we didn't. They all started rolling together. But recently, we started watching Waiting for God, an old BBC comedy show starring, and I have to look that up for a moment. I know it was Stephanie Cole and Graham Crowden, that's it, or Crowden. They play two elderly people at the fictional Bayside retirement home, and it was a lot. Yeah, hold on. Just want to make sure I have the right. I just want to make sure I have the right names here. Hold on a second. Hold on a moment. And yes, Graham Crowden and Stephanie Cole were the two main characters of the series. So here's the entire premise of it. I'm just going to read it straight off the Wikipedia information for it. Thrown together by circumstances, two spirited residents of Bayview Retirement Village, a stiffy seniors' home where stepping out of line is strictly frowned upon, form an alliance and begin to give the home's oppressive management a run for their money. Retired photojournalist Deanna Trent, played by Stephanie Cole, is often angry, more so now because she's stuck at Bayview and she has little use for anyone there except for former accountant Tom Ballard, who gleefully cheers Diana on as she goes about her undermining ways. The British sitcom aired originally on BBC One from 1990 to 1994. It's 5 seasons long. I recommend checking it out if you get a chance to. It's a really good series. A majority of the time, they just take on the manager of Bayview, as they call it, the Idiot Baines. Or as they call him, the Idiot Baines. He is known as Harvey Nigel Baines. He is called the Idiot Baines, basically. He tries any and all ways to get the entire... I want to say this nicely, but yeah, screw it. He basically tries to find a way to cut corners, cut money every single chance he gets. He is horrible in more ways than one, but starts to grow as the series drags on. It is very well made, very well done. If you don't understand British comedies, you'll quickly learn it, trust me. But either way, I highly recommend checking it out. It is worth it. Pull up some clips online if you want, but it's definitely worth it. I recommend checking it out. But there you go. There's my review and my recommendation of the week, because I needed to fill up some extra time. But yeah, definitely I would check that out if you get a chance. It's definitely worth it, definitely entertaining, and definitely something you got to check out. I mean, it's just hilarious. Some of the episodes, you just roll over laughing, and some you just, it eats it up. It knows exactly where to go from good, hardcore laughing to, okay, we got to lighten it up if they're binge watching because we're liable to kill some of them, right back into the hard laughing again. So I recommend getting a chance, check it out. Very well done, very entertaining. And there's my recommendation for the week. Alrighty, and that is gonna do it this week for the absolutely completely random podcast. I know there wasn't a lot this week, but let's face it, it was a dull week. I mean, last week I had a lot of views. Last week I actually topped out over 20. And I want to first off thank everyone that viewed my video. It means a lot to me. You do not understand how much it means to me knowing that I can actually make something and people are watching it. I'm not doing YouTube to get rich. Believe me, I'm still a poor, broke man. I'm not doing it to get rich. I'm doing it to spread knowledge amongst the world. If I happen to make anything by ads, that's just, I guess you could call it a happy circumstance. But either way, I'm really just doing this to spread the news, spread the word out, and all that jazz. Honestly, that's really what I do. That, my Andrew Rand's videos, my Andrew's theories, all of it's basically just to get my thoughts and opinions out there into the world and see what sticks and what doesn't. See what people agree with and what people don't. That's what I try to do every single week. So you have no idea how much 20-some views really makes me feel. It really makes me feel happy about that. But anyway, that's going to do it this week, though, for the podcast. I'd like to thank everyone, like I said, that viewed. I'd like to thank everybody that helped me find topics during the week, which basically I'd like to thank Otaku USA for having the topics online, Anime News Network for having the topics out. And if you have any ideas for ways I could improve upon the podcast, please let me know. Feel free. I'm always looking forward to hearing from everybody. Send them to either acrpodcast@gmail.com or feel free to send them to me on Twitter @OtakuRoads on Twitter. If you have any suggestions for future topics for the podcast you'd like me to hear about, maybe you found something online or something that caught your attention that I may not have seen, feel free to send them to me via Twitter @OtakuRoads or to acrpodcast@gmail.com. I'm always looking forward to hearing anything and everything from my fans. And like I said, until next week, I'm Andrew Rhodes, and I'm going to quote something here that makes no sense to me yet to this day, and I heard it years ago from an old television show called MASH. Ladies and gentlemen, take my advice. Pull down your pants and slide on the ice. And until next week, I'm Andrew Rhodes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me into your lives. See you later!